any questions. It could be regarding just constructions only, or it could be regarding any topic that we learned so far. We have so far learned 1.1 to 1.8, 1.16 constructions. I'm making some notes on the side, which requires a compass and a straight edge. So tomorrow's mini test in your classes. What is tomorrow? 8:21 Wednesday, late start. So you do have a little shorter period. Depending on your teacher, you'll have between 8 to 10 questions, and it's all about the constructions. So, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it will be, yes, again, between 8 to 10 questions. And yeah, so do we need paper to write on? No, this is just, I mean, if you want to practice extra, feel free to. This is just like an online tutoring center where you can ask outside of school. So let me get my stylus ready. Okay, so I know there are many topics for tomorrow's mini test. So the first one, all of the things are going to say the word construct. And again, sorry, my handwriting is a little bit weird. Construct a segment, let's say segment AB, this is the easiest one, where the length of AB is equal to CD, for instance. Again, this is the easiest one and guaranteed, hopefully, easy points. So you're going to be given an original segment, so something like that, that's provided. And on your test tomorrow, you're required to, step 1, get your pencil, draw a ray. Step 2, you know we're labeling it as AB, so I need to put point A at the end point. I know I don't have a compass in front of me, so I'm going to be more verbally specific rather than visually specific. So I would go to my original segment CD. I would put the needle at C, so you know where the point is, and of the compass, and I would put the pencil at D. So I'll try to, let's see, maybe yellow is easier to see. Okay, so then I go to my own ray, and I put the needle at point A, and then I put the pencil part at point wherever that reaches. So again, you can't see a compass, apologize, but the green is the point on the compass. You are required to draw an arc from the compass. And then afterwards, you just find an intersection, boom, you got segment AB. Yes, it's a ray as well. However, because of the extra arc, that yellow arc you made with the pencil from the compass, then that shows that you master that skill. So again, that's objective number 1. Let me jump to angles. So for instance, let's say you have an angle 1. This is given to us. And it'll say construct angle H, where the measure of angle H is the same or equal to the measure of angle 1. Then I'm going to do one where you double it, and then I'm going to do one where you are adding or subtracting angles. Okay, so this one's the basic one. This is where you're copying an angle. So step 1, in pencil, you would draw a ray, and this is your potential vertex. So then step 2, you would use your compass. You would go to the original top angle 1. You would put a point, your point, you know, of the compass at the vertex. So green is always going to be the point. Let me write that down in the notes. Green for today's lesson, today's little review is going to be the needle / point of compass. And then the yellow will be the pencil of compass. So at least you kind of, because I don't have a compass picture in front of me, okay? So, so now you're going to go, and it doesn't matter how large or how small, you're going to make an arc which touches both rays. So again, the needle's at the green, you make an arc, not even a full circle, okay? Just a little portion of the circle. It could be that. I'm going to erase it. It could be this tiny. It doesn't matter as long as it touches both rays. But here's a must. When you draw it on your ray, you must put your needle at the vertex, just like we did earlier, and you must keep the same size, and you're going to draw the same arc. So look at how those two yellows, I know mine's not obviously the same, I couldn't draw it as well, but I'll try again a little bit better. So again, you draw the same arc. Okay, now you're like, how do I draw the other ray? Well, this is the most crucial part of this situation. I have to put the new needle at this point right here, this yellow point, the original, and this pencil will be right here. Oh, I can't use yellow again, darn. Sorry guys, right here. So I have to measure between green and yellow. So measure between here and here. So then from here, I put my needle. Now my needle I have to put at the very bottom. And then with my compass, the pencil part, however much I measured the width from arrow to arrow, I have to put a marking there. So again, from the yellow to the green, these two, this green and this yellow, is the same as this upper green right here and this yellow. That's how you copy an angle. Okay, and so we're almost done. We get our regular pencil and a straight edge. ID card works, and you connect the intersection. So hopefully we mimicked it. We do have to put the letter H, that's angle H, and then we're done. Again, that is copying an angle. The requirement for tomorrow is that this arc has to be visible. And the original angle arc that we did at number 1 is the same as this arc on angle H. It have to be identical size. Okay, so that's to construct an angle which is the same size. So let me do one where I'm going to put like a 2 in front of measure angle 1. Okay, very similar to this one, but put a 2. So here's the big difference. I'm just going to put a letter 2 here. For this one, I would have had to go back to the original, right? I measured this yellow arc, and I'll do it all over again, okay? But I just want to demonstrate. This is a fast way. I would have to go a little bit further. So this circle, this portion of the circle called an arc, is going further. I have to estimate. I got to double it, right? So I know it might be obtuse now. So what I now have to do, you know how there's the arrow, green arrow to the green arrow? That measurement on my compass has not changed. So now I put the needle at this newest intersection. So this is the needle, this green spot. And then I take the pencil portion of the compass and I mark it on here. So again, from green right here, this new one, this newest one, to this newest yellow is the second angle that I copied. So now I'm going to connect the ray, and essentially I created angle 1 right here originally, and I created another angle. So I continued the arc so that I could keep adding on the angle width. Okay, so I'll do that all over again from step 1, but that's the look of it. We would have to have 2 arcs that intersected the original arc, and the official final answer is going to be in black. It would be here and here. And so those are the official angle, okay? All right, so let me start all over again. So here's angle 1. Yes, I could do that, absolutely. So we are going to start from way back from step 1. We're going to try to mimic, but we're going to triple it this time, not double it. So we're gonna times this angle by 3. I feel like I needed to make my angle a little smaller, so let's see if I know how to delete. Let me just try this again. Okay, let me redraw a smaller angle. Let's do this. So the fish one is, the fish angle is perpendicular bisector. So here's angle 1. Okay, this is the original. And our goal is to, I guess I'll make different letters. I'll do HIY. We're going to make an angle. We're going to construct an angle, HIY. Oh, sorry, the Y doesn't like to cooperate. Okay, so step 1, draw a ray. Okay, so my red is the ray. Step 2, I take my compass, I put the needle at the green placement, and I put the yellow, the pencil part, anywhere on the 2 rays. So anywhere, that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Anywhere. Even this is tiny, but that's fine. So anywhere on the ray. But now I have to go back to my original ray, the new one right here. And so I put the needle at this endpoint. This is the green dot, the needle. And without changing your compass size, you're going to make the same arc. But then you gotta account for it. I gotta triple it. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna make almost a full circle, right? I'm gonna just keep going until I feel like I need to stop. So I'm gonna just stop there. So now, using my compass, I'm going to measure from this intersection where I'm pointing an arrow to this intersection where I'm pointing an arrow. So I measure it with my compass. So needle and what's it called? Yeah, I could do problem 8 as well. Needle to pencil. If anyone knows the answer, oh, so Mia, this is a question for this specific one. Yes, this will have 3 arcs, exactly. So now I put the needle down here at the newest intersection. Needle goes here from my compass. Then my pencil mark will go right here. So I have, if I connect vertex to that, I created angle 1. I don't want to just create angle 1. I want to create 3 of them. So then step 2, I start my needle here, this newest intersection. Oh no, the newest intersection. Sorry, the little cursor, the stylus is wacky for me. Okay, and then I use my pencil and mark it from the compass. So that's 2 angles. Then I do it one more time. So I put the needle here, and then I use the compass pencil and I mark, oh, I should do that a little bit better. I mark the original arc. So notice those 3 green dots on the yellow are from the measurement of this original right here where I'm kind of dotting, and right here, you're measuring the width. So we're done. We are going to connect that intersection. This is your angle, and we got to label it HIY. So it's definitely an obtuse angle now. The requirement that, at least in my class, I will need to see are the yellow marks. I'm going to make it blue now. So 1, 2, 3, if you're tripling it. And then definite requirement is that you have your original arc on number 1, angle 1, and that's the same width from the vertex as your newest angle. So those are the requirements. Don't forget to label HIY at the end. You do not have to connect, so here's an angle, here's an angle. You do not have to connect it. Visually, it makes more sense. This is angle 1, this is angle 1, this is angle 1. You're like, oh, there's 3 of them. Yes, but you do not need those black rays. I just did that in my class to kind of visualize, like I have 3 angles in 1 angle. All right, so again, the final answer, you have the yellow arc, and then you have the 3 blue ones. Okay, so I'm going to move on. I wanted to answer, let's see, the fish angle, the perpendicular bisector, and angle bisector. Okay, so next is construct perpendicular bisector. And so we're going to call that line AB of segment GH. Okay, so here's GH. I'm going to just draw a segment, and this is your original that's provided. So with your compass, you're going to put your end point, your needle, this is the green on needle, at one of the end points. So start at G, and then make sure, this is wrong, make sure your pencil is not here. That's too small. Make sure your pencil is more than half, because what the goal is to do the fish, this I just abbreviate fish because it looks like a fish at the end. The goal is you have an X up here and an X down here, and then you connect it. That's the end goal. Okay, that's a quick, fast goal. So how do you do that? So with the compass, the needle's at the G, green part, and you're going to go more than halfway. And so what you're going to do is you're going to, I don't have room, but you're going to go and go and go and go. And I mean, you could make a full circle if you want. It's not necessary, but only necessary is the top and the bottom. Okay, so you made pretty much half a circle, right, from point G. You do it all over again. You put your compass, your, what is it called? You put your needle at H, and then you have the same measurement. Like, don't change anything with your compass. If you did, remeasure. And so the same width, and then you go from H. And so that's why it kind of looks like a fish if you tilt your head, just a little. And so we have these two intersections. Here is one intersection, and now I could call that point A. And then here's another intersection. I could call that point B. And so the final answer, I have to connect those two with a straight edge, obviously. Not right now. And I have to make it a line because that's my request. I said line AB and label it AB. So what's necessary for this constructing a perpendicular bisector is that you make 2 yellow arcs from the left, from the right. The main idea is you want the tops to have an X. Then draw a line in between it, then label AB, the line. Okay? The next one I will talk about is, let's see, let me kind of just answer some of your questions. So, okay, I'm going to answer Jasmine's angle bisect right now. Will this be on Mr. McKee's test? I can't say like what's on the test or what's not, but whatever you have seen or will see tonight will be an option for the test question. So, and I'll run through all the possible questions that you can see tomorrow, okay? So, some classes might be 8 questions. I believe my class, I'm making it 10 questions. So it just varies a little bit with the teachers. But once again, Mia, you don't have to label GH because that's already there. So GH was the original segment. So G and H is there. Okay, so I'm going to do bisect and angle this time, like Jasmine and Brooklyn asked. And the fish angle is the same. Yes, Nicole. The fish angle that I just did that's visible right now is the perpendicular bisector. The fish is the, okay, so now let me do the angle bisector. So you'll have already an angle right here, and it will say, let's say like this is H. So it will say construct an angle bisector. I'm going to abbreviate, okay? And let's call that angle JHT. Okay, so this is the labeling that you have to do so that measure of angle JHT is half of angle H. So it might not even say this. It might not even say angle bisector. So that's something you have to infer based off of looking at this half. So half, in my mind, means bisect, okay? That's something you will all have to infer on your own. It won't be like super easy where it just says do an angle bisector. You gotta make sure, okay? You have to draw a triangle for the fish. No triangle. You have to make a half circle. Correct, Andrew. Do we have to mark points or angles on the ends of the ray? Right now, angle H is given, so don't do anything yet. This is the given item. But I think later, yes, we'll have to put points. Yes, Sophia, later. Okay, so step 1, with your compass, you're going to put the needle at H. And then you're going to use your pencil portion of the compass and make an arc. So again, not a whole circle, but just part of a circle. Then, from there, now your new, what is it called? The needle of the compass is going to hit this newest intersection. Just know you're always using the newest intersections to do something new. So here's the newest intersection right here, this new green. And I'm going to use my compass again, and I'm going to try to make an X. So from the newest green, I'm going to use a slightly different color. I'm going to use blue to make it a little more clear. Is that now I'm going to make just a tiny arc. So if I made a full circle, it would look like this. But you don't need a full circle. That's too excessive. So just draw a small portion in the middle because we're going to bisect it. Okay, from there, you're now going to put the needle or the endpoint of the compass right here at the other intersection. And you're going to do it again. You're going to make an arc from that green needle. So then again, this is too excessive. If you draw a circle, just draw a portion of the arc, a portion. So if you did it excessively, this is too much. You drew a circle here, and then you drew a circle here. It's a little too much. It gets a little more confusing. So I would say don't do it, okay? But that's how I got those red and blue marks, okay? I pretty much started from the green endpoint. All right, we're almost done. So now you are going to connect the newest intersection. We bisected the angle. So from H to the newest intersection, you are going to make a ray. So after the fact, I hope you cut the angle in half. I hope it looks like they're congruent. And then now we have to label the letters. So I need to label it J, H, T. Well, H is already the vertex, so that's good. So J, I'm going to put just a point anywhere on the ray. Here's J. H was already there. And then T, I guess I'll use this one if there's a point. So the red angle right here is your half of the angle. JHT. So make sure you label it properly. Let me just kind of look. If you were to double an obtuse angle, would it be negative? Huh, I don't know. That doesn't, I don't think so. Okay, is the red and blue line the same as the yellow angle? So read, they could be. So here's the thing. Remember, as long as you go more than halfway, so from the green, like this original green, what I'm spotting right here, as long as it's more than halfway from these two endpoints, then you're good. And I feel like it's okay. It's safe to say yes, that it is the same size as the yellow. Does the other point need across from T a letter? Nope, you do not need another letter. Please don't add any letters. You just want JHT, which is half of the original angle. Do not put anything here. Nothing's there. Can point J and T be switched? Yes, Mia, that can be switched. So this could be T and this could be J, absolutely. Or I could even erase this and I could make this J, as long as you identified half the angle, if that makes a little bit more sense. Well, we know to know the vocab. For tomorrow's test, Una, no, it's just all of the constructions. So just be familiar with the written way. So let me see. Okay. And if I didn't answer your question, I apologize. Hopefully someone has answered it too in the process. So here's what it'll look like. You can't see anything yet. Construct angle H so that measure equals, sorry, you can't see anything yet. So this is something, what did it look like? Sorry, I don't have an angle symbol, so I had to resort to that symbol. So just like your homework, just like the notes, it'll say construct angle H so that measure of angle H equals to measure of angle 1. So as soon as you see that, you already have an original angle 1 somewhere for you, right at the top of the paper or somewhere, and you're thinking to yourself, I have to copy the angle. That's what you should be thinking. So how do you copy? I already did that, okay? Another way, another sentence, here's one, so you can't see this yet, construct, uh-oh, I don't know what happened. Let's see, whoops, sorry, let me delete that. Okay, let me try it again. Construct, perp, bisector, AB, so that, so something like this. This is the next maybe sentence, maybe question. So I got question number 1 up here for sure. I'm 100% sure this is going to be a question on your test tomorrow. 100% sure this is going to be a question on tomorrow's test tomorrow. I already did these two, okay? And I don't have symbols because I can't do it on the computer. So you're given JK already, that's original. And then you have to physically make fish, okay, the perpendicular bisector. So in your mind, you're thinking fish, in your mind. Okay, 2 for sure questions. Okay, here's another for sure question. Right now I'm not looking at the chat box, sorry guys, so I'll get back to it, okay? So 3rd question for sure is, let me write it down, construct, okay, something like this. So a for sure question will say construct angle JKL so that the measure of angle JKL equals 2 times the measure of angle 1. So you're going to be given already an original angle 1. That's provided, okay, it's given. And then you're going to have to double it. Again, I did this already, so I'm not going to show it again unless it's an absolute, I want to see it again, okay? But that's just the style you'll see it in. So you'll have to double your angle. That's a for sure question number 3. For sure question 4 will be construct segment AB so that AB CD. I did this in the very beginning, so if you missed it, you could watch it after again. But let's say you're given CD already, that's your original, and you have to physically draw a segment underneath that represents it being the same, okay? So that is, you're just copying an angle, or copying a segment. Oh, sorry. This one's double, this one's copy a seg. Okay, so 4 for sure questions. Now let me get to the chat box to kind of answer some questions. So I'll do number 8 from the homework. That's totally fine. Let me get the homework out. So number 8 from yesterday's homework said construct EFG so that 1 and 2. Okay, got it. And then let me look at 1 and 2. 1 is obtuse, 2 is okay. So this was from yesterday's homework or today's homework, depending on your class. 1.6 worksheet, number 8. It's a construct angle EFG so that measure of angle EFG equals measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2. And I believe angle 1 was given as obtuse and angle 2 was given as acute. Okay, so here we go. We have to copy angle 1 and we have to copy angle 2 on the same arc, on the same part of the circle. So step 1, draw your ray. So draw a ray, easy. Step 2, this is important. Get your compass. Go to the original 2 at the top. Put your needle at angle 1 and make portion of a circle. You don't have to go all the way. That's too excessive. Just make a portion of the circle. Touch both rays. Do the same exact thing on angle 2. Make it the same arc, same circle almost, right? So no changes to your compass. You make the same exact arc. Again, it's too much if you go full circle, just as long as you touch the rays. So then, and yes, I could do the angle bisecting again. So now I go to my ray and I put the needle at the end point and I make the same exact arc. So here's that, right? It's a full circle. You don't have to do a full circle once again, but draw it long enough so that that's 1 and 2 will fit. Does that make sense? So angle 1 and angle 2 will fit on that arc. Okay, so I literally just copied the same arc on all 3 of those angles. Okay, so now, super important, you have to measure with your compass these 2 red dots. So your needle goes here, that's an arrow, and your pencil will go here. So then, now I'm going to put needle goes here, and then pencil, what I just measured, goes here. So it looks about here-ish. I'm estimating if I don't have a real compass with me. And then that's angle 1. So if, this is not done yet, but if I connect it, this is angle 1. I copied it, okay? But that's not the final answer. So now, what I have to do is now I go to angle 2. So I'm done with angle 1. All done. Don't cross it out tomorrow, but I'm just saying I'm done. So angle 2, you're going to measure with your compass, so you have to adjust the width smaller, measure from the red to the red, like we did earlier. And now from the newest intersection, which is at the blue, so now here's the newest intersection. I'm going to put the needle of the compass there, and I'm going to mark angle 2, whatever that width was, whatever the compass is. So this is the compass pencil. So now I have created another arc. So again, this is not necessary, but what I did first was angle 1, and what I did second was angle 2. And if this makes more sense, you see angle 1 plus angle 2 becomes the whole angle. Okay, you do not need those black in between rays. I'm just demonstrating that we have created an angle addition postulate. We use that, okay? So final answer is we connect the vertex, which is right here in the original ray, and this newest member, newest intersection, and you make your last ray. So that is the necessity to see those markings. So I'm literally going to look for this gray mark, and I'll say, this gray mark does look like you did measure from here to here, so it looks pretty accurate. And then also this second gray mark from this first gray mark does look accurate. It looks acute. It looks from here to here. And so I'm going to just kind of estimate, right? For the most part, everyone should look the same. Okay? Let me just answer some questions. So there is, when you double an angle, Andrew said, let's say measure of angle 2 on last night's homework. Do you base your double from the vertex to the point, or from one point to the other? I believe it's one point to the other. Jasmine, constructing segment AB congruent to XY is making the lines the exact same, but labeling the points AB. Yes, that's right, Jasmine. You just need one arc. You need one little pencil mark though, okay? Could you redo? Yes, I'll do redo, and then I'll do homework tonight. Do we have 1.6 practice? Okay, so to be clear, for my period 1, period 5, period 6, Mrs. Tiratira's class, this is answering Cody. The homework is the textbook. The practice worksheet you got is not due till Thursday morning, or whenever I see you. So for my class, Tiratira's class, sorry, just a side note, this is not everyone's class, okay? I kind of switched up a little bit. So if you're not Tiratira's student, please don't listen. Today's homework is the textbook, page 64 to 65. Again, this is Tiratira's class. That's the homework. And then the classwork is not due until Thursday morning. But we will have time to do and finish this in class tomorrow. We'll have time tomorrow, right before the test. Okay, maybe like 10 minutes. All right? Okay, but yes, this is the homework that's due tomorrow from Tira Tira's class. Okay, let's see. Is the blue line where the two arcs intersect? Oh, sorry, let me go back. The blue line, I think this was the blue line. That's where they intersect. I think so. I think, okay. Let's see. McKee's homework doesn't have the question with 3 marks, but does that mean it won't be on the test? That could be. So read. Yes, it might be. It could be. I don't know. Again, I have 10 questions, so maybe that's something I added. Versus McKee might have only 8 questions. So sorry, I can't answer that. Okay. All right. Sorry. Can you explain problem 7 and 8 on the classwork we started today? Can you do number 8 on the practice sheet? Sure. So that's answering 2 people at once. Okay. This is, I don't know if everyone got this. I know Tira Tira's teacher, Tira Tira's class got this. So, number 7, number 8. Okay. Again, for sure, Tira Tira will have these 2 questions. But I don't know about Bratcher, Haygood, or McKee. Okay. So K, double it. Okay. Well, before I answer Sophia and Kaylee's question, I need to answer Alex's question. Sorry, Alex, you've been waiting. So I'm going to redo angle bisector. Angle bisector, half an angle. Okay, half of measure H or something. Here's H. Okay, JHM. Okay, step 1, you go right to it. You go to the vertex, needle there. Draw part of a circle, just a little arc, we call it. Don't draw the full circle, just an arc. Then, at the newest intersection, which is now here at green, you see these green dots, you are going to keep the same width because I believe it should be okay as long as it's more than halfway from here to here. More than halfway. Again, from the newest green, which is right here, you are going to use your compass and mark an X. Again, this would have been a full circle, but don't do that. It's too much. Just mark a little portion. Then you go to the other end right here, and you keep the same width. Don't change anything, and you mark again here. So it's like a full circle, but don't go all the way. Too much. It's confusing. So you need to mark an X. X, or AKA intersection, is what we're finding, guys. That's the goal. And so lastly, we connect the ray from H to this newest member. Yahoo! And then we need to label it JHM. Okay, so you have options, but make sure you label something here and something here, or down here. So must have a label here. So I'm going to put the letter, J. H is already there, and M is there. So this is JHM. This tiny angle right here is JHM now. Okay, how did I get the red arc? Oh no, let's backtrack. So I started my needle at the green, and pretty much you are using a pencil, using your compass, and you're marking it. Again, this is a full circle, but don't go full circle. This is called an arc. So I use the compass pencil from here. That's the red mark. And then I started all over again from this point, and I drew with the compass pencil another arc. So this is another arc coming from this green dot. And again, this is the full circle, but too much. So you're just creating an arc. The red and the blue are from the green and blue dots. Okay? So essentially, you have 2 overlapping circles. Essentially. Okay? So that's super messy. So from there, connect. Okay. When you're doubling an angle. So okay, so I'm going to do, what do we need for an answer? I'm not sure what you're asking, so I think I'm just going to do it, and hopefully I answer your question. All right, so this is number 8 from the classwork that I gave for my class, my students. Let me find it. Here it is, number 8, LMN. Okay, so measure of LMN is equal to measure of angle 2 minus measure of angle 1. And then what did measure of angle 1? 1 is acute, 2 is obtuse. Okay, so the original one, here's 1 and here's 2. This is the original ones. So minus just means you have to go backwards, but here we go. So step 1, draw a ray, easy. Step 2, get your compass, put your needle at the green, and make portion of a circle, your arc. Do the same thing at angle 2. Needle at 2, and make an arc, portion of a circle. It has to touch both rays, it must. So then, without changing any sizes, you are going to make the same thing on your newest ray. So your needle's at the green on the ray, and you're gonna make your arc the same size. So it has to go at least angle 2 length, right? You wanna make it the same as up here. So something like this, right? Same exact size. I know it doesn't look exactly the same, but these two, that's why I'm color coordinating it. So then now, I don't know what step we're on now, but now we have to measure angle 2. So we measure here to here, your compass, your pencil, and what is it called? Needle point. So then now you put your needle point right here and your pencil right here. So it's the same essentially, like these two little marks are the same as angle 2, okay? So then from there, we are going to measure out angle 1. I'm going to use a different color now. I'm going to use, what color haven't I not used? I don't know. I guess black. So I'm going to measure angle 1 from here to here with my compass using the needle pencil. So that means I'm going to start here, needle, but rather than going here, that's wrong. I'm not adding. I have to go backwards. I have to go this way. So needle, pencil. Needle, pencil, okay? So essentially, there are just 2 marks, right? So let me backtrack. And so I started here at the newest point, and I backtracked, I went backwards here. And how do you know where to draw the arcs? What do you mean, Bryant? Oh, the yellow one? Are you talking about the yellow one, Bryant? How do I know where to draw the yellow arc? It doesn't matter. It could touch anywhere as long as it touches the rays, okay, Bryant? So here's your original angle. This could be an arc. This could be an arc. This could be an arc, as long as it touches the ray. So it could be small, it could be big, but keep it all the same for angle 1, angle 2, and yours, okay? So the newest member is the black arc, and now we have subtracted, we went backwards, so we're going to connect the newest mark to the vertex. Let me demonstrate. Let me finish this, okay? So you have 3 points on an angle, many points, but 3 points. So here's your first point, I got to name it L. Here's the second point, I got to name it M. And here's the third point, I got to name it N. And that is the subtraction version. I'm going to demonstrate. So if I connected, how do I do this? So this is the final answer. If I connected, I'm try to draw the same exact thing if I can. Here, here. Come on. And here. So if I connected to the last arc, right, that whole thing is angle 2. This whole thing is angle 2. And then right here is angle 1. So if you know your math, if you know subtraction, anything about that, the green minus the yellow, sorry, it's not getting clear anymore, you have a leftover of blue, all of this. This is your leftover angle. So again, yellow minus the green little angle right here. Oh, I apologize. Green first, right? So the green is the whole thing. That's angle 2. The green is the whole thing. And then you're subtracting angle 1, which is the yellow right here. So that means you have a leftover of blue, right? This is your leftover. That's your answer right here. This is the angle that we wanted to create, okay? All right, drawing the full circle is excessive. Okay, yes, Nicole, I think, yes. Okay, let's see, let's do number 7, because I think that some of you guys had questions about doubling an angle. So let me see, angle K, so it's double measure of angle 1. Okay, construct. Once again, sorry, it's unclear if this will be on your test. It is for sure on Tara's test. So that measure of angle K equals 2 times measure of angle, was it 1? Let me see. Yes. Okay, so this is number 7 on a handout that I gave as practice. You might get it tomorrow, right before. That's a possibility. So if you don't have it yet, at least you saw a sample of it now, and you could get that practice in tomorrow. So again, this is from a separate, not a homework. This is a worksheet. Okay, so angle 1 was small, something like this. Step 1, okay. Draw a ray. That's always the situation, right? No matter what you do, you're always drawing a ray. All right. Then step 2, needle at 1. And earlier, Brian asked a good question. You can draw an arc anywhere as long as it touches the rays. So here's good. Here's really good too, right? Anywhere. So I'm going to make it smaller this time, okay? Just to change it up a little. So let's make this arc tiny, okay? So I'm going to make this arc tiny, but I got to double it. So I got to account for that. I had to say, you know what, let me just extend this a little more. Let me go almost full circle, but not quite, okay? Because I need to double it. I know it's going to be a little bit bigger than what I have in front of me. Okay, now you go to your original. You're like going back and forth if you haven't noticed. So now I go to the original, and I measure needle, pencil, pencil, needle. Okay, needle, pencil. And so now I put the needle here at the bottom of my newest one and pencil here. So that's supposed to be measure of angle 1 if I connect it. Sorry, it's not as accurate. Let me redo it. This is supposed to be angle 1 if I connect it, okay? But I have to double it. Excuse me. So that means I start again at this newest intersection where that blue little mark is. Now there's a green mark. And then I mark it again on this yellow arc. Once again, I don't think it's fairly accurate because I don't have a compass. But now you connect your vertex right here to the newest member. And so if I connected it, so this is angle K, by the way, but if I connected this here, this is angle 1, this is angle 1, voila, I doubled it, okay? All right, it goes for an hour, correct, till 8 today. And I think you could, what's it called? You could, what's the word? Rewatch it as soon as I do a couple things, okay? I'll put the link to after. Yeah. Yes. Okay, are there any other questions? There's about 10 minutes. So hello, I'm back. I lost connection just now. No, that we got. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. Any questions? So we did, segment. And we did perpendicular bisector. So which is a fish. So your final answer will be something like this. And perpendicular bisector, your final answer will have something like this. And this. I'm just going fast, okay, unless I see questions. You will have to know how to make an equilateral triangle. Triangle with all sides are equal. So you're basically copying the segment. So yes, you'll have to do a triangle. So you'll draw a ray, you'll mark it, then you have a second point. Mark it up top from this point, mark it from at the top from this point, and you created a new point, and you connect. So that's the triangle. Let's see, that's 3 questions, right? So segment, easy. Perpendicular bisector, easy. There might be like a segment, like AB is equal to CD plus EF, where CD is given to you, your CD, and EF is given to you. So your goal is to make a B. You draw a ray long enough. You mark CD because you measured it from here to here. And then you start here again. And then you mark EF, which you measured here to here. So the final answer, I should have done this one. I don't know how to delete. The final answer is this big dot and this big dot. And you label it A, B. You don't need a dot in the middle, sorry. But you need this mark, okay? Then if you subtract, let me just change it up just a tad bit. Let me see if I can delete this. Hold on one second. Okay. So let me change this to a subtract. So if that's the case, you draw a ray again. You measure out CD with your compass. So here's CD. But instead of going to the right, so from here, you're not going to go here. That's wrong. You're going to go backwards. So you are deducting the segment. You're trying to erase it. You're trying to erase. Okay, don't erase. So that means, I don't know what happened. These 2 black dots are your final answers. This is AB. Because this whole thing was CD. This little chunk was EF. So you're trying to demonstrate the leftover, which is right here. So again, one more time, 1 mark, backwards mark. This is your answer right here, AB. Okay, what is that? 4 questions. Then you have to do your angle bisector. It'll say 1/2 of measure, blah, blah, blah. So you make an arc, starting here, make an arc, starting here, make an arc, and connect. And then make sure to label 1, 2, 3 letters, depending on what it says. 5 and 6, okay, I can do that. 5 and 6, let me find it. Oops, excuse me. 5 and 6. 5. Okay, I think I did that already, but since we have time, I could do it again. So number 5, it says construct angle H, where I already did 8 already, I think. Yeah, I think I did number 8 already. Matthew and, yeah, I already did that, Matthew. Sorry. If I have time, I'll do it, but I don't know. And angle 2, here's angle 2. This is literally just copying an angle. I did this in the beginning, so if you weren't here at the beginning, you can rewatch it. But step 1, you draw a ray. Step 2, you draw an arc on your original. Here's angle 2, an original. And then you draw the same one here. Okay, it don't look like it. Then step 3, go back to your original. Measure here to here. So on your new one, measure here to here. It's the same. So pencil, and what is it called? Needle. And then you're done. You need to just connect right here. Sorry, it's not the same, but you get the idea. This is a very important part. If you don't have this, nor if you don't have this arc, nor if you don't have this arc up here, it is wrong. I'll be like, oh, you just guessed. You're a good guesser, but not a good constructor. Okay? So then now, just label it H, and we got number 5. Number 6, we just did that maybe third time, but I'll show it third time's a charm. So that's F, G, H. Okay, F, G, H. So that it is half. So be familiar, study the way it's written, because I don't think any of your teachers will say how to do it, right? This is, you got to master this skill. You say, oh, this is bisect. In your mind, you got to say bisect. Okay, good night. Have a good one. So FGH is right here. Here's angle G. This is given. So step 1, you make an arc, right? Starting here. Step 2, you put your needle down here at the intersection, and you put your pencil somewhere here. Step 3, put your needle at the other intersection and make another mark. Hopefully they intersect. Then step 4, connect, and you have created half the angle, and you have to label these 3 portions of the angle. Letter F, G has to be the vertex, and H is right here. So just imagine you're only focusing on this angle shaded in green. That's your angle FGH. Okay? All right. So again, before you guys all leave, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording right now, and I'm going to put a link. So hang tight if you want the link